Okay, so enough of the rhetoric, and I'll move to today's event. We'll be focusing on the broader heritage of the Whiteinch area. Once the library was part of a broader landscape of proud borough buildings, which this is the only one left functioning, the library, and in a good state of repair. The most egregious example of municipal neglect is the Borough Hall here, which is a B-listed building, but it could be the centrepiece in the area's regeneration. So with no further ado, I'd now like to introduce Mr. Richard East. Richard is an urban design professional who has lived in Whiteinch and Scotland for over 30 years. He'll be telling you a little more about the planning history of the area and how we can improve it for the future. Richard.
Thank you, Robert. Well, we've been sitting here for 7 or 8 weeks now, protesting against the closure of the library. And we thought it might be time to step back a bit and look at a slightly wider environment and to see what changes have been wrought upon the community over the last 50 or 60 years. The state of the Borough Hall is the spark for all this. These fine old buildings have literally been left to crumble. I don't need to say too much more about them. What we have done is put together some sheets on the railings here and a little bit of information about the Borough Halls and their current condition, where they've come from and so on. We need to consider the buildings and the service and the economy we've lost. Major industry left the area quite a long time ago, and perhaps this was a trigger for the decline. However, the people are still here. What we have lost, on our third sheet, we talk about transport links, that's ferries and trains. Entertainment, we had 2 cinemas here. We had leisure and sports, the Whiteinch Baths Complex, park buildings. We've also lost lots of shops, many have gone and will never come back. And of course, the Borough Halls, is it lost or not? And the library is under threat. We know the city evolves, we know we can't keep everything, and we know the city is never finished. But we need to consider the work, the services, the connectivity, and the social infrastructure that has been lost. I call this the civic erosion of the community. It happens bit by bit, very quietly, whilst we're not really watching. We also need to think a little bit about what's still at risk. There's little enough left. On this list we obviously have the library and the Borough Halls, the park, its facilities, tennis courts, bowling greens, various other bits and pieces. We've just recently lost the pavilion, which overlooked the bowling greens. That was burnt down about 2 weeks ago. We also have industrial heritage in the area. Some fantastic big buildings down towards the river, which are ancient, or if not ancient, are fundamental to the reason that Whiteinch is here. We have the Titan crane, which is beautiful. All these things are at risk if we don't actually jump up and down and say, look out for them. Then, just going back to the Borough Halls, they are in very poor condition, but the biggest problem is actually to find a sustainable use for the buildings. It's not just about the buildings and the material, but it's how they're used and what we do with them, and how we can actually keep that going for the long term. It's about social, economic and environmental considerations, and it needs a group to be brought together who can actually consider all these things and work out what solutions might be available, and then work out a strategy for what's done to try and save them. Even if it can't be saved, and heaven forfend it can't be saved, it's really important that this piece of ground is community ground. If this building is knocked down, the last thing I want to see is another block of small flats go up on it. We need to have social space, we need to have third space, place where people can come to. And the library and this place are really important as a hub in Whiteinch. So at the penultimate sheet is a sketch of one idea of what things might look like. It's just an idea, it's no more than that, it's not a proposal as such. But it's just a question of saying, we've got this great big road, we've got these 2 fantastic buildings. If we started to think about them together, they are stronger together, I think that's the expression. And we might be able to do something towards getting a better piece of townscape here. It's really, really important that these things work together. Buildings not in isolation, but as groups. And then the final sheet is just a blank sheet which invites you to put comments on it if you've got any thoughts or ideas, or if you're interested in what we've been talking about this morning. Stick a post-it note. We've got lots of post-it notes. Stick a post-it note up on the pictures on the railings. And if you are interested and would like to become involved in a group, there isn't a group as such doing this at the moment, leave your name and contact details. And if we get enough people, and if we think it's a goer, we will actually contact you and see whether we can't pull some sort of group together. So we're right at the beginning of a process here. And if you would like to be part of it, do please come forward. It'd be really interesting to have you on board. Okay, thank you. Do come and have a look, and please comment, put notes in the box. There's a post box at the end, or put notes on the pictures, and we'll record them all. Okay, thanks. Yep, there's post-it notes over here, and paper, and pens, and anything you might need.